Cassi Niemann. I am a You Can Row To Master Rowing Instructor, and I'm here at RVA Performance Training Center, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to make your rowing stroke better. What I want to do is make your rowing a better part of your day, whether it's a part of your WOD or something you're doing all alone by itself. I want you to row more efficiently, more powerfully, and of course, safely. So the rowing machine is a variable resistance machine. So the amount of force that you put into the machine is how much resistance it then gives back to you. It's not like loading weight on a barbell. When you load weight on a barbell and then you lift it, you exerted a certain amount of force to lift that weight up. And no matter how much more force you exerted than is necessary to move it, the load does not change. On the rowing machine, if you apply more force, then it gives you more load. It's as if the weight got heavier on the barbell. And so that happens completely independent of the damper setting. So no matter where the damper is, you can be doing the same amount of work. So the first thing we're going to go over is the damper setting. So the big thing about the damper setting is that most people don't know how it works. And when you come over to the rowing machine to row, the first thing you need to do is look at the damper setting. Because if you don't look at it, and that's the setting right here where the lever is going to go up or down. If you don't look at the damper setting before you sit down, it's like going up to somebody else's barbell and lifting the weight that they were lifting. It's probably not right for you, and you wouldn't ever do that. So when you come to the rowing machine, you need to set it as your rowing machine. So the Concept 2 rowing machine has a damper setting on the side. It is this lever that moves up and down. The numbers are written on the side from a 10 to a 1. They purposely have them kind of grayed out so that you don't think that these are a barometer of how much work you're doing. But if you look, when you set it up at a 10, all the slots open up here. So it's letting in a bunch of air into the flywheel that's moving inside. There's a fan pushing air. When you put it down at a 1, all of those slots close up. So when it's up at a 10, it's pulling in a bunch of air. That weight is going to feel heavier, it's going to slow down faster, and it's going to be harder to keep that wheel moving. When it's down at a 1, there's no air coming in, so the wheel is going to move very fast, and it's going to stay moving very fast. So let's put it this way. You have two different types of athletes. You have the one that is a more longer distance, kind of can sustain muscular contraction over a longer period of time. And then you have, on the other side, the more explosive sprinter, fast twitch muscle moving person. I would say most CrossFit people fit into the second category of the fast twitch, explosive sprinter kind of athlete. And then perhaps more of the more marathon or the strongman, power lifter. They're doing things with much more force but at a slower speed. They're more in the other category. So if you break that down, what you're going to have on the slower twitch muscle is going to be your 10 damper. And then the sprinter, explosive person is going to be more at the 1 damper. Now that doesn't mean that if you're like, well, I'm the big strong man, I should have it at a 10, and I'm the explosive person, I should have it at the 1. What it means is that's basically where you might find more efficiency. When you are sitting on this machine, you need to put it in the place that's going to allow you to be the most effective rower that you can be. And that's going to take a little bit of experience and a little bit of understanding of how the damper works. So when you have it up at a 10, what you're going to find is it's going to feel really heavy. You're going to have to row a lot slower so that you can apply more force against that heavier drag feeling. When it's down at a 1, it's going to be very quick. Your technique has to be perfect, and you might be moving a little bit faster to kind of pick up the flywheel as it's spinning very fast. What I suggest for most people, if you have no idea what is more efficient for you, is to put the damper between a 3 and a 5. That's where you are probably going to be the most efficient. So putting it between that 3 and the 5 is going to be the best starting place. And once you've spent time on the rowing machine and you've rowed really long distances, really short distances at different speeds and pressures, then you can find the right damper setting for you. But until then, put it between a 3 and a 5 and start there.